Good evening. Hope everyone is well. Happy Wednesday. This is a very special episode, an episode that I've been really looking forward to. Kawooya versus Catford. This is an in-depth analysis with three giants of the game. Welcome, Darius, aka Bath Time. How are you doing, sir?
I'm very well, Bruce. I'm delighted to be here. Analysing like senior men. It's exactly how I want to spend my Wednesday.
I thought there was too much emphasis on the senior. Be careful about that.
Well, an older man.
And then I've got Yaba Fords. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. I just want to say big up to you, Tabrice. You do wonderful things for the football community, especially vets as well. And it's still to be debated whether you are the best centre back in the league, because your own manager said he kept you at the side backstage at Independence. You telling me this quote that you have about being the best, that's disputed right now.
You know what? I have very influential people that can categorically say that I'm a better centre back than him. But you know what? That is, that's literally not about what we're talking about. But again, exactly. Nana, Catford Wanderers manager, how are you doing, sir?
I'm blessed. Thanks for having me here. Thank you, Yaba and Bad Time as well, for making the opportunity to dissect this. And Yaba, please, you don't have to be shy. We know it's shit, but it is what it is.
I must say, Bath Time is the analysis. I am just like the Robin to his him being Batman. I'm just his sidekick on this one. It'd be very good.
Yeah, anybody can call themselves Superman. They can call themselves a lion, but when they look in the mirror, but they can be pussycats when in reality they can call themselves whoever they want. So yeah. You can call yourself the best centre back in grassroots football, best football, whatever it is. But hey, when you get on the pitch and you have two left feet, it's a different scenario.
Tabrice is left-footed, isn't he?
Yeah, two left feet.
Okay. I don't know. Guys in the comments, who's the better centre back, Nana or Tabrice? Because this is gonna go on all show. I would like to know. Anyway.
Great stuff. So we are going to be dissecting our return fixture against Kawooya that happened on Saturday, and again Bath Time and Brother Yabo will be talking about different phases of play, things that were good, and certain things that we can possibly do that differently, and of course myself and Nana will literally explain certain phases of play, and hey, yeah, let's kind of get this show started.
That's kind of up to you, Tabrice, to start the show. It's your channel.
No, well, hey, you know what, Bath Time, you have the kind of footage.
Sorry, can I just give us a little brief summary background of what the significance of the game on Saturday, and to start, we showed us a video from a preseason game against the same team, and now we're in May, sort of stroke June, and you had the final game of the season thing. So just a brief summary of what's going on with your club for those that don't know.
Nana.
Yeah, this game was huge in all aspects. This game was. Put it this way, it was like United's final game of the season, the FA Cup. You win it, you go up. You don't win it, you have to start again. Kawooya had gone the whole season unbeaten. So I, for one, was looking to put an L on that record and get my boys up. So it was a huge game for us. So it affected our formation, especially when we have quite a few influential personnel missing. We had to put what we had to do together to try and get something out of this game. That's how big the game was.
All right. Can I ask some questions about the team and how you set up and things before we get into it?
Yeah, sure.
Are you like you seem to defend like quite high up the pitch? I noticed that the goalkeeper for the team that you were playing was appalling at kicking. and his centre backs and things were taking the kicks. Any ball back to him, he spooned and stuff like that. Which is, it's a Sunday League goalkeeper. We've all met them. Was that like an instruction for this game, or is this something you've done all season? Play with a high block.
Yeah, something we've done for most games. I'll say more than 90% of the games for the season, because I play like a sweeper keeper anyways. So I like to start further up the pitch so that we can keep them penned in. And it usually helps, especially when a goalkeeper of the position can kick long as well. So we can keep them there. Anything that goes over the top of the centre backs, then I can clean up.
All right. Well, I think, Tabriz, first of all, I'll start off because Amonde obviously hasn't watched the game, despite telling me to watch it twice. So I want to play some clips and show you what you were doing very, very well in terms of what I saw in the other game. So the other game you sent me with the same people.
Yes.
But it was, what was it, 6 months ago? Like beginning...
When did we play Kawooya in our first game?
It's 6-7 months ago. It's been a while.
Like November or something.
Oh no.
No. October. I
want to say October. October.
Right, okay, 8 months. All right. Well, let's have a look. I will share my screen. And Amonde, you haven't seen any of this, have you?
Well, I've seen the first game, a lot of that, but not the second game. Oh, this is the first game. Okay, this is the second game.
No. This is the second game.
Yeah.
All right. So they're taking a goal kick, right? First of all, I don't know why this guy is out here, but he's going to come in. I don't know how to make this faster, but this right is excellent here. When you're defending in a block up front, any defensive structure is always better when it's narrow. Okay, like it doesn't matter what is going on. Is that your key aim from these situations is to cut off one side of the pitch, and you've done this brilliantly because our big lad is like gonna shut him down. These two are blocking passes into the centre. And that is an open invitation there to this guy out here. So the first thing I'll say is that, like, Nana, is that the intent to squeeze the pitch vertically and horizontally, or is this just players adapting to a situation?
No, the instruction was to keep them penned in. So we want to play quite narrow, and because it was a really big pitch, so play very, very narrow and very, very compact.
Yeah, okay, so that is vertical and horizontal.
Yes.
All right. So here, Amonde, watch this, right? I don't know why that guy is his arm out there, because he's in the correct position and everyone is in the correct position here. Look at this. That is genuinely, this setup here of that box with these two guys in between the line will win you a hell of a lot of football matches if you don't just boot the ball. And also, Tabriz, do you see how good this is? That's your back line. That's your midfield. That's your attack. That is like, what, 20 meters, 20 feet?
Yeah. That's brilliant.
That's absolutely great. Is this you here?
That is... Yes.
What's this body shape about? What's that about? That's absolutely appalling. Right. But watch this, Amonde, right? Look at that. How much better is that?
Yeah. What did you say, Barclay, about the touchline being the best defender?
Mm-hmm. So the touchline is the best defender in football because it's always on. It never makes a mistake, and you use it to pen people in. So when we look here, that's the ball he's got to play, and that is the ball that this centre back is going to play. So what you would want actually is you'd want this guy, Ronaldinho, to go and mark the goalkeeper. Right? You don't want any out ball, so that when he gets the ball, he's got nowhere to go except booting it up the pitch, which is exactly what we want, Nana. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. Because he's not like, sorry, my computer's running a bit slow. He's not able to play that ball out there. And I don't know what this big boy is signaling for. He's the guy that scores the winner, Amondo.
Oh,
But
right.
look at this, right?
Wow.
Right, you should score here. Okay. You don't score, but look at how you're able to sustain the. That is why, right? This is this guy that I'm not making fun of him, because despite the fact he's a bit, you know, he enjoys a meal, he's their best player, number 13. But here, whoever this guy is, has to know that he's got to be blocking that lane there, right? This guy's in a good position because he can come across. I believe that this old head here is a centre back who's come right the way up, and that is incredibly impressive.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's really, really good. But you've basically let them off here, or so it seems. There, do you see how he took a bad touch? If your man is 5 yards further forward there,
yeah,
unlucky. We win the ball.
Woo.
This is brilliant. What this guy does here, he's faked an injury. Do you know why he's faked an injury?
Well, he knows he's in trouble. He's giving the ball away.
It's because his team have to get out.
Yeah,
You've had them. They have been unable to get out for a minute. So he's taken a dive there to release the pressure. This is something that your centre forward needs to do a lot more, is to win free kicks when he's isolated by himself. And then I don't know. I mean, I don't have any. What is this guy doing?
They weren't able to get up the pitch. For quite a while, and then he started driving the ball through the touchline to try and get them up the pitch. So I think there was a few times he went up there and then brought the ball back again. Just went up there and brought the ball back again.
Like this, I don't want to go in too hard on this number 8, but this.
No, you have
this
to,
is,
Dan.
Well, like first of all, let's talk about what's good. That's your midfield line. That's a man in between the lines, and you've got 1v1s with both strikers and this lovely space to attack. Like, so this thing here, the distance between the centre back and the full back, is called the channel, right? That's how we're going to refer to it as. Your strikers need to be making more runs in between the channel.
Thank you very much.
Have you been telling them?
Let's pin that message right there. I'm sure some of them are listening now. Let's pin that message you sent right there. Because I believe, once you finish going through most of the clips, I believe that was one of our downfalls in terms of channel, running into the channel instead of playing with your back facing goal.
Yeah, there's a clip somewhere. I haven't actually timestamped these, I'm afraid. There is a clip somewhere which perfectly sums that up. But I was aiming basically just to take random moments and look at them for what's going on. So here, you're building up from the back. Everyone is pointing to get up the pitch. All right. So what are you going to do? You're going to hoof it. These two need to be further forward. If you're going to go long, you need to build a cage around the area that you're hitting, right? Because they're always going to head the ball forwards if they win it, or at least most of the time. And that means that we need people to be able to win second balls in this area here. So when you get your team up, Nana, you've got to get your midfield up roughly to sort of around the halfway line to win second balls.
Again, Again, that was said. Winning the second balls, that was said.
Right, these two work harder. But let's see. Okay, this right. This is the guy that is causing your team's problems, and he's doing it because he's dropping. How do I rewind? He's doing it because he's dropping between the lines. So do you see him here?
Yeah.
He is doing something, right, which is called behind and between, which is what you as a team need to do more often. I'm gonna get the tactics board out for this. Unless there's anything that you want to say.
No, I mean, so that player that you're talking about, number 13, he was literally he was doing that all game, and I was very, very conscious of either trying to get close to him or just letting him have that particular space. But yeah, I kind of noticed that, especially in the first half.
So that 13, what position is he? Is he a forward?
He centre forward, doesn't he?
Centre forward.
He was playing like a 10.
Yeah. You know, he was kind of playing like a 10.
Why just pass him on?
Well, literally, our kind of two DMs, they were like picking up their like runners, and again, Nana, please correct me if I'm wrong. They kind of have their focal point striker called Tibbs, and literally, he's the kind of almost like the focal point of the whole Kawooya team. If we kind of keep him as quiet as possible, then literally we will stop, the majority of play. Billy is the one, Billy as in number 13, that was them dropping deep. He kind of literally had the license to roam. And it was very apparent in the first 10, 15 minutes that he was getting slightly frustrated. But again, he has got an amazing touch and amazing vision. But literally at that particular time, we were definitely in the ascendancy.
I mean, you always have to be careful of those kind of those more tubby players, because they have a better understanding of space than anyone on the pitch, because it's the only way they're ever going to be effective. They're not going to run past people. They're not going to go on dribbles. How they're going to kill you is with space. And I'll show you now on the tactics board what he's doing. And this is something that your midfield can't deal with and doesn't do itself. All right. And it's fairly simple to sort out. Sorry, my PC is lagging. All right. So you can see all of this, yeah?
Yes.
All right. So let's say we've got an 8 and a 6 here. And they're in a straight line, and their player is on the ball. What this number 10 is doing is he's getting in between the lines. So you would have your sort of your centre backs and so on, all out like this. He's working in this area here, right? And he's causing you problems. So there's sorry. All right, let's start again. Behind and between a line is exactly where you want your sort of more creative players. All right, in this position here, because it means that what they're doing is that they're pinning the players in front of them, and if one of these guys goes, this guy can. So if this guy goes to put pressure on the ball, this guy can widen out and receive the ball, and he's broken that block. Okay. So if you play in a really good block, the way you boys were, you have to be careful of men in behind. And there's two ways that you can do it, right? The first way is you've got to squeeze. You've got to get the line so tight that there's nowhere to play between the lines. But if we get to, say, the 60th minute, that's not going to happen because people are tired. We're not professional athletes, etc. So what you want to do is you want to drop your 10 into the midfield block. So you play the standard mid block of a 1-4-1, and your defensive midfielder who is now going to be playing between the lines, and he is tasked with marking the number 10, who is dropping around. He's going to man mark him and go with him. And that is how you kind of want to deal with those situations. And so if, for example, the other team have the ball, this 9 isn't going to be like, he can't mark all 4 players, of course. So what he does is he forces the ball onto one side of the pitch, and our block will come across like this to make a situation like that. And that's how we deal with these annoying players that come between the lines.
I've actually got a very interesting comment from a good friend of ours, Junior Baker. Bottom line, without being funny, Catford just didn't take their chances.
Why do you think that is?
Nana, do you want to answer that question?
I think that's a very, very fair point. I think usually, 2 things. Usually our striker, Steph, is quite composed in front of goal. Some goals that he scored, over the course of the season, it's just been absolutely brilliant. He literally didn't have the shooting boots on. I want to say his accurate shooting boots on Saturday. But if you see the whole game in terms of his work rate and his willingness to get on the ball and make something happen, I can't fault him at all. That's number 1. Number 2, and for both of our forwards, the composure in front of goal wasn't there. It really wasn't there. But most importantly, to make it even easier for you to score a goal, you have to be in the right position. You have to run into those channels instead of having your back to goal. If you're going to have your back to goal, then you need to have a supporting midfielder who you can bounce off, play the 1-2 behind quickly. But you can't have your back to goal and try and turn and beat a man and go and score. I always say that the easiest thing to do is to make that run so that you don't have to beat anyone. That run beats everybody, and then you just have to get onto the ball and score. You understand? If you play your back to goal, it makes it easier for the defense to mark you because they don't have to do anything. As a defender, I'm loving it if strikers feel that they are big and strong and they want to roll me. Do all you want. So far as I'm having you face that way, I'm happy. The one thing I hate is that those small, nifty players having a quick run forward and spinning behind you. I absolutely hate that. And that's what I felt that one of our strikers was doing on Saturday, if that makes sense. If I watched the whole game twice, and I felt that one, we had enough chances to kill the game off. First half, we should have been like 3 or 4-0 up, hands down. But to make it, even easier, because as the game goes on, the patience levels drops. People are even more anxious. They want to score, and it becomes even more difficult. But the understanding to have a level head and calm down and play football, be patient. If that happened, who knows? We would have been having a different conversation.
It's interesting that the fact that this team is unbeaten, and clearly you create a lot of chances against them. So in the first half, especially when you got that energy and the way you set up, before the game, Nana, you've obviously created these chances by the way you've positioned yourself, like we showed the film early on, just at the start of the show. From a set piece for a goal kick, for example, you were getting chances from that because they weren't playing out. And as Tabriz said, their number 13 was getting frustrated because he couldn't get the football eventually. So, yeah, it should have been 2, maybe 3-0 up if that's the case.
And the instruction as well was to keep them in there. There were people whose jobs were to man mark, others in the midfield. So they were really, really frustrated. And so far as I'm concerned, in terms of that shape, that 3-5-2 that we were playing, this was one of the best, ways we played in terms of everybody understanding their role, especially for the first 50 minutes. This was one of the best I've seen because halftime I told them, lads, you are playing amazing. It just hasn't happened in front of goal. If it does, we're good. So let's go again and try and do the same thing. obviously we change of personnel, and people's understanding are different, isn't it? So things happen, but hey, I can't
All
play for boys.
From what I see, right, there's a couple of problems in your team, and it's not necessarily down to individuals and things. It's more about how a team should attack. So the first thing is you are far too scared of the ball. Like whenever a player gets the ball, they normally look to play the ball forward as quickly as possible. With the strikers you have, that's not the way to do it. And because of that, even though you had so many turnovers in the first half, and with a slightly better understanding of how we attack and create space, you will score more goals. And even the goals that you conceded are about people not really understanding that in football, you have the ball, the man, and the space. You want to be always focused on space first. Like you defend your territory, you attack a territory, and chances and things come from that. If you get too
100%.
worried, we'll show the goal later with the landlord and Tabrice, you got sold in that, I'm afraid. No, you just you got done.
No, it's fine. I tried my hardest to explain to him. I mean, Tabrice is my brother, so I don't have to mince words with him. But he just wasn't getting it. So from somebody else's point of view or perspective, hopefully it might sink in, because we have to learn from our mistakes to be able to improve going forward.
All right. We'll deal with that goal later when I found it. But I've got a good example about how I personally think from watching your team, right, that your strikers have two personalities. One is that they're Zinedine Zidane and can score from anywhere. So they will run into the strangest places. And the second one is that they don't see invitations on the football pitch. And the third thing is they're never taking photos. As a footballer, because you're primarily concerned with the space around you, you need to be constantly checking where it is, where the ball is likely to go, who you can pass to, where the gap is. And I noticed that in any clip, in particular, your number 9, who I think is a good player, is constantly looking at the ball. He never takes a picture of what is around him. I'll give you an example of this, because I don't want to diss him without evidence.
Yes. Yes.
This is evidence-based research.
So before you get that clip, Buff Time, let me go to Junior Baker. Junior Baker says, the game against Kawooya did not define your season. The beautiful game is frustrating, but an opportunity was missed. The strength is keeping the team together and making sure next season the job can be done, which is absolutely true, JB. And again, I don't think people actually realize that when Nana took over this time at the beginning of the season, we had 5 or 6 players, Nana?
6.
So in terms of what Nana's done and the players, it is glass half full, definitely.
It's really impressive, the progress you've made from that game you sent me to the game that you've sent me today. Oh, sorry. Oh. All right, you can see this, yeah? I'll try. I've worked out how to play it at 2 times speed. You've just defended a free kick. And the first thing I want to say is this is beautiful. Your 2 lines here and your player here. This guy, right? This guy out here, he doesn't understand space properly, because he's going into less dangerous areas because there's no one there. He wants to be in these kind of areas. He wants to be near his man so that he can combine. All right. Okay, so the movement here is absolutely brilliant at the start from the number 9, because what he's done, Amonde, what's this?
Behind and in between.
Yeah, he's got behind and in between, and he's between the lines. Okay, so if he gets the ball, he widens it, and this guy comes in. But look at that, Amondo.
Get a bus through there.
Right, so this is the channel, and you can see he's just looking at the ball. He needs to know that he's got to make that run, right?
Preach.
If he doesn't, right, it's all right, but we'll explain why. If he makes this run and he doesn't get the ball, right, he is going to take this guy out of the game. And look, this is a mismatch out here. This is a big breakfast boy, and our number 10, despite I don't know what body shape he's got there, he's going to be able to beat him in a race. You've also got this guy here. If he sees the picture in front of him, he realizes that he's got to make a run here, like hard, because he's going to be the late arriving player. As it goes, you've got to make that run. That is an open invitation. That space there. Okay, so this is the first thing, is that you've got to see where the spaces are. Your 77 has done really, really well because he's used width to create space, and the space is here.
Yeah.
So he's got to make that run. What run does he make? He doesn't. Look, and the opportunity's gone. But now he makes the channel run, which is excellent. But there's no one in this area here. So you would want this guy to be much, much closer. And this guy out here isn't doing anything. No one can get him the ball. There's no route to getting him the ball. He's got to come in. Right? So this is about spaces. We get it. We hold it up. Shout out number 77. He's doing exactly what he should do, which is making a channel run. But you see this guy out here that we highlighted earlier? He's taken himself out of the game. He's got to be making that run in there.
Hang on. So that picture there,
yeah.
The 77, the guy you just mentioned, I'm thinking his position is fine. I think that the other guy in the midfield, because
this guy,
yes. So where the number 77 is, he's keeping that right back occupied, because if he makes that run now, the front of the 18-yard gets choked. But right now, look at how the center backs, and look at how there's so much space in between the center backs. So if the guy in the middle makes that run to support the focal striker,
hang on a second, Nana. Who are you talking? Are you talking about this guy here?
No. So the guy in the midfield, that's it.
This guy?
No. The next one. That's it. Yes. I would have expected him to make that run to that semicircle, that arc over there,
to the penalty box.
Yes, because the guy on the far left-hand side, the winger, he's occupying that their right back. So if he
but
makes
he's not
that
doing
run
anything
now,
with it.
True, but sometimes when you stay where you are, it creates even more space. If he moves to his right now, he's going to get followed. And right now, the picture is beautiful in terms of spaces that we can work with.
Yeah.
But I don't think we are moving into those spaces to be able to affect the play, if that makes sense.
All right. So what you want, right, in this thing here, you're talking about this midfielder here. Ideally, his position is over where the ref is, right?
True.
Because he's not part of the attacking unit.
True.
He's part of the recovery. Your attacking unit are these four players and this guy here. This player is too wide to be involved in the attack. Okay. This guy here, right, is man marking him, but a better player is here.
True.
Right? This is the thing, because what we have here is an open invitation, because those spaces, like, let me do this again. These spaces here between that back three should mean a goal.
Back roots, yeah.
Yeah, that should, that's the whole thing. This guy should be making that run in here, and it allows, if you need width, your left back can provide it. What you need here, is you need men in the box and you need them in certain areas. Okay. The first thing is this guy wants to make an outside run, an into-out run to clear a space here. This guy wants to get involved in that space. Your man here is going to make a near post run, and this guy should be here to make the far post run. And because what we're doing is that we're attacking space instead of like trying to find empty space. Like if as a team you cross the ball in that area there, like the sort of, you know, like where Man City cross it from, and you have one guy attacking the back post, one guy attacking the near post, and one guy on the edge of the box here, you're going to score a lot of goals. But your team are not running into the correct positions because they're too focused on the ball and the man instead of the spaces that they need to occupy. And that is a great example. This guy's looking for space that is unimportant. That is the space he wants to be in because it allows him to affect the game. Out here, he's doing nothing.
I think what Nana's maybe trying to say is that if he does go inside and the defender comes with him, it's going to become too congested, and he likes the space at the moment there because he's given that width between the channels there. But yeah, I would, in this sort of position here, you want to have some sort of pattern of play where you can get guys into the box, as you say, with the cutbacks and that sort of thing, which makes a simple goal. And you score that once or twice and get into a pattern of scoring those sort of simple goals, it will come over and over again. What I found from the first game, which I did watch, was shooting from ridiculous angles, trying to score, and there's no real pattern here. You break in because you defend really well, you're very compact, but it's the attacking side of the game where I feel you need to sort of be a bit more expansive.
Let's do this another way then, Amonde. If we're talking about the white team, right, where do we want all these players? Let's start with this guy. Let's start with their right back. Where do you want him here?
In with the centre back, sort of tucked in with the centre back.
Around here?
Yeah.
Okay. So we want one player there. Does that matter about the position of anyone else?
Sorry, his teammates, you mean, or the opposition?
Yeah, like for the guy that you want, like next to his centre back, does it matter where anyone else is on the football pitch?
Well, yeah. So the guy, if he's there, for example, because they can't spray. I mean, this is not pro football.
Yeah,
you're not be able to spray a ball over from ping one end to the other. If he does, congratulations. But you've got to narrow the gaps between the channels between the centre back and the fullback. So I think the fullback shouldn't worry about the guy out wide.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point. Okay. All right. We know that this guy, however, he is dependent on this run. Okay. That's his man. He's got to go with him. This guy here, where do you want him?
Brees.
Closer to the other centre back. Yeah, basically right there under kind of edge of 18.
You want your back three like this. Okay. So the point is that even though this guy appears to be stretching the pitch by taking that position, he isn't. It is the poor positioning from the other players that is stretching the pitch. And you shouldn't take your position from the opponents in attack, right? What you do is you take your position from the space, and all the space is the penalty box. Is he going to be able to affect the penalty box from here? No. He's got to be inside and further up in that position. Does anyone disagree?
No, I don't. Bear in mind as well that we were playing a 3-5-2 formation, so they were wing backs. So it has taken them a bit of time to get up that pitch, and this is best football.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but that's even more important, right? I'll hang on. I'll show you. I'll show you something else now. So, is a wing back's a common thing that you do?
Well, depending on the personnel that we have, but my preferred system is a 3-5-2 formation. We got 3 big boys who can deal with, as you saw the first half. So if anybody wants to keep crossing the ball, that's their own problem. They can deal with the ball anytime. But if we go to the pacey wing backs, then I would like to have those wing backs bombing up and down the pitch, affecting the game. If you watch the first half, the guy on the left-hand side, or if you listen to you might hear me at times telling him he needs to give him something to think of instead of defending all the time. Because if he pushes him further up the pitch, he stays further up the pitch. But if he's always goal side him even when we have the ball, then he doesn't need to go back. And the second half, I think he started doing closer to the end of the first half, and the second half he started doing it a little bit more. But that particular phase of play that you just showed, I think when the ball broke down and it was kicked forward, if you look at the wing back's position, they were quite deep.
Yeah, but this is the problem with wing back formations, is that like the reason that you don't see them anymore is because they're dependent on the attacking wing backs being as high up the pitch as possible. If you want to beat someone who's playing a 3-5-2, you pin their wing backs, because it means that they're unable to transition and attack properly because the width is too deep, right? So it's so important to get them up the pitch. I'll give you an example, but I will just say, Nana, there's one thing I hate in football, and it's formations. I can't stand them. Like, what we want to be doing is thinking about how we are occupying spaces in different phases of the game. So I don't want a player who is like a left back or a right midfielder saying, "Oh, I'm right midfield, I shouldn't be there." Right? What I want from my teammates is that everyone understands that during first phase play, where we're building up from the back, these zones, these areas have to be occupied. In second phase play, you have to move to a different area. Like second phase plays where you're bringing your team up the pitch, you're getting your defensive structures in play, you're widening the pitch. So the guy that was playing as a right-sided centre-back now has to move into midfield or provide width, etc. And then you've got the different things that need to be done in the attacking phase of play or third phase play. And I'll just give you, like, if I may, I'll just give you some examples now. Yeah? Is everyone happy with that?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
Let me just press all my buttons.
So Sean Campbell, who's actually part of Catford, I hope you're hearing this, Nana. Remember our exchanges on the pitch.
I
like a bit of drama.
No, I'm hearing this, but it's good because he wasn't there when we were given the initial instructions. So when he came, he was playing in a way which meant that he wasn't always goal side of his opponent, and the ball was going over the top. I wanted my wing backs to stay narrow, very, very narrow, because all we needed from this game was a draw. So if they are, what they play is 3 up top, and they play very, very well. So they lead them up top. So I wanted the wing backs, if the guy is going wide, to stay tucked in so that every ball goes outside of you instead of inside of you. And there was too many times the ball was going inside of him or over the top of him, and I didn't like that. Because if he goes over the top of you, then he doesn't need to beat anyone. You are going to suck one of your center backs out to come and do the job, and I didn't like that.
Yeah,
I wanted those Billy and Tyros who were pushing forward through the middle, and I wanted my 3 center backs to be able to deal with them and not worry about the guy out wide. And for me, in terms of the goals, one of the goals which was conceded, that was what happened, because he was very wide, and it forced my right-hand center back to get sucked in onto the right-hand side, which created space for the very clever Billy to go through that channel and score the goal. That's how I saw it.
Okay, sorry. Like, have you finished, Anna? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, all right. I think this might actually sort of back up your point, right? So what I want to do is demonstrate why it doesn't matter about what formation you're playing. What matters are spaces. So I've divided the pitch into like a couple of sections. Like this one here are the wide areas. Okay.
Mhm.
These are the central areas, and these are, I call them the interior, but people call them half spaces. So when we're attacking and we've got possession of the ball, we want to occupy every single one of these areas. All right. So we will have a 9 playing centrally, 2 inside forwards, and then like the width. All right. So if you're using wing backs, you'd have the width. So you have 5 players occupying all these spaces. But the key thing is that they're not all on the same line. Okay. You want a setup like this where people are at 45-degree angles. So you got a pass out. And then your other players are going to form what is known as a rest defense. So you like your team high up the pitch. So you would want something like this. When you're attacking, I feel that as a team, you're not occupying the areas properly. I saw a cross in the second half where you had 3 guys standing, hoping for it to come to them. Like they just want to score tap-ins. Okay. So when you're playing the 3-5-2 formation, your width is being supplied by your fullbacks, correct? Hello?
Yeah, he's on mute. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like your fullbacks have to be the ones that in attack are in the wide areas, and then a setup like this is fine. But I find that with your attacking play, players don't know which zones they have to occupy, because if we get the enemies on the pitch, like you would expect them to have to set up something like this to deal with you. Okay. And that means that we have extra men and that we're able to sustain our attacks and keep them pinned in. But the key thing is that you have to get 5 men across this area. And like the wide areas are the least important. What's called the weak side wide area, which if the ball is here, this is the least important spot to occupy. So then that guy can come in around the back. Does that make sense? Have I explained myself properly?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So basically, you want everyone not in the same line, but you want them on 45-degree angles, and you want everyone to be sort of occupying, being conscious when you are going forward or you are pinning them in their half. Be conscious of occupying whether the wide areas, central areas, or the interior thing, and that's their responsibility to set that up. So
because they want to defend like that, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
But you can't defend like that. Like if you're all like this, if you're all on the same line, it's much easier to defend than if people are slightly offset. Because that number 3, does he go out? Does the number 4 go out? Who goes out? So if you've got a guy like your boy who's good at holding the ball up, if he holds it off and then drops it here, whose job is it to come and get him?
They got a problem.
Yeah, and then you've got this guy coming in. This guy can come out here. Your 6 can come in like that. You want to see like these. You want to see these spaces on the pitch, like the blue lines, as areas that are to be occupied. So if you're in attack and you see that one of those areas isn't being filled, go and fill it. Give them a problem. Right. And that means that then your strikers are able to do like channel runs and so on and stretch the pitch. Because when we make a run, most of the time we're not expecting the ball. What we're doing is we're generating spaces for other people.
Yeah.
Is that like I don't know if this is what you wanted to Breeze, because I didn't make any timestamps.
No,
I
yeah.
thought it'd be more
Yeah.
like general discussion of
No,
spaces and things.
No, it's really good. I'm kind of really keen to kind of look at the goals we conceded and also the goal that we scored as well.
Well, I mean, the goal you scored is a long ball, but the thing is that your players attacked the space. Like this is one of the key problems your attack has, is that they're not attacking spaces. Like your number 9 he's pretty good at holding the ball up. There's a clip, right, where Lukaku talks to Jamie Carragher about how Lukaku turns players. He could really do with watching that, because when he holds the ball up, he makes himself as big as possible and blocks all contact, but he's never looking to manipulate the guy behind him. So like maybe over summer in a couple of games, if he learns how to roll a player, like, which I'm sure he knows how to do, he'll get a lot more variety to his game and he'll enjoy himself more. But
I think he did once. The whole game. Well, the clip he just showed, when the one of the midfielders came out wide behind our center line and then played that ball, on the line. That's the only time that he rolled, his marker.
yeah,
But again, he didn't. When he rolled him, he didn't go forward. He came back inside again. The clip
yeah,
he
but I
just
mean,
showed. That was a perfect example of that.
hang on a second. I think I've managed to find your goal. But yeah, but the point. Sorry, the point I'm trying to make is that for your goal, you attack the space. Most of the time, players in your team are looking to come deep, pick the ball up, and then they're making like runs into Narnia, where I don't know what they're going to do if they get the ball there. There's no one to protect. There's no one there that they can combine with. They're just like, it's like watching my dog chase a car. I don't know what he's gonna do if he catches it. Do you know what I mean? So with a big number 9 like that, if he occupies a central space, can roll his man, can lay it off and stuff, it gives you much more width out wide. Like you're able to attack from there. But the key is that your team has got to identify spaces and run into them, and that when your midfield and your defenders are on the ball, they don't see that as an instant, let's boot it up the pitch. Use that space that they've created and come up as a unit, and then you'll be able to pin teams in and suffocate them. You've got to have much more care of the football. For me,
it's true. From seeing it, they've been more comfortable on the ball in the opposition half. Have periods where you're stringing passes together. That would really give you a lot of confidence to do that. It's hard. I know it's hard. Maybe if you're coming out from in a transition or something, but if you can slow it down and say, right, nothing on here. Let's start again and get players up the pitch and to Brees and the back line, force people up. Like you said earlier, there was a clip where you showed the space between the defenders and the attackers was kind of compact and narrow, which gave you an advantage if you could keep the ball in those situations.
Look, I know it's nearly time to end, but I've found a clip, which is the first goal.
We can, we can kind of roll for another 15 minutes or so.
Okay,
Nana's about all right with you?
Yeah, 15 minutes with me. Yeah.
All right. I have the goal that you conceded, but I also want to focus on something else. Am I up?
Yep.
You are now.
Just enlarge.
All right. So let's just watch this sequence.
Well done to Brees. Oi.
Okay. So this. Okay.
Lovely finish, to be fair to him. Like really, really good quality. Let me. I don't know why this computer is running so slow.
So okay. So bath time. Before you begin, so literally, this is like a clip that that's been put in our Catford group, and a lot of people have had a lot to say about this clip. And it's
To
gonna be
Breeze,
very
shut up and let him talk.
No, hold on.
Let him talk. Let him just break it down. Everybody's gonna keep quiet. Let him talk. Let him see what he says.
Hold on, bro, man. Hold on. So again, this clip has again done the rounds in our group. I'm not going to say exactly what was said, but again, Yaba and Bath Time. This is the first. Well, yeah, this is the first time that you guys are going to be talking about this. So yeah, we just want to clear up a few things.
All right, Amonde, can I start, or do you want to start? I know what I'm going to say.
I haven't seen it, so let me have a commentary about it and see things. So
what you want me to say what the problems are?
Oh no, let me have a bash at this because I haven't seen this yet.
All right, you ready?
You can read it back just 5 seconds. Back. All right, from there, that's fine. Yeah. So slow it down a little bit. Oh no, go back. Yeah.
Sorry, my computer's not very responsive. So, do you want this in slow motion, or do you want it in normal speed?
Half speed, maybe.
Half speed. Okay. All right. First of all, just tell me what's going on. What's going on? Out here. What's this?
Yeah, there's no one occupying it.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
First of all, I want to say Tabrice does well here because he's the defenders, the attacker's trying to pin him. The ball gets played into him, and it's kind of like a 1-to-1. But Tabrice is extremely strong. So as the ball gets played into him, he holds up well and makes it play the other way. Good defending.
Oh no,
great defending there.
No. So yeah. So that was Dan.
This bit here. Sorry, pause. Yeah, pause.
Okay, so as you see it now, the person that's tackling, that is Dan, because now we have gone to a 4-4-2. Is it, Nana? Have we gone to a 4-4-2 now?
No.
We weren't playing 3. We were kind of playing a back 4 with
look at where Sean is. I think this was still 3-5-2.
Is Sean the landlord?
No. The landlord is
the wing back.
So yes, okay. So literally,
that's it. The one in the black shorts on the far side is
on the far side.
He was meant to be.
Okay, so he's just been caught ahead of play.
Okay.
All right.
So
are you ready to go, Mondo?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So literally, I am. So
don't just don't mention the names.
That's you. Okay, right, cool. Yeah. All right, so run it. So the centre back there has done well to pinch the ball, make the play. The guy play the other way. Well done there. So it's got turned over here, and you guys, Catford, have got the ball. Lovely bit of skill there.
That is outrageous.
Now stop right there.
Oh, it's so annoying.
This is where it breaks down. A simple side rule pass into the guy running onto the ball would have been perfect. There's all that space there. I don't know how this breaks down. I really don't know, but this is a great opportunity.
I know why.
Well, he's running onto the ball. Well, let's see the pass. Because
he gets stuck in two minds, Amondo. He sees this run here, and he sees this run here. Look.
Oh gosh.
He plays it in between them.
Yeah. And then does Casemiro there by going to ground. Now the body shape of the centre back there should be. He's looking square on the ball. He's not protecting his channel, which the only pass is on. So the centre back there, I don't know, is that you, Tabrice?
That's not me.
Okay, well, his body shape is all wrong, in my opinion. He's staring at the ball watching. He should be watching the space, which the guy runs into and eventually, and actually sort of shuffling over into that space. Look, right now he should be shuffling over into that space to stop that pass, or at least cover that, defend the wide area better. He's got a free shot on goal. It's unfortunate that.
Yeah. All right.
I'm done.
Okay, this is what I see. I want to start with this first. Amonde, where do you think the pass should go?
I think the pass, with his body shape, should just be to the runner. There's a runner coming
behind the number 3.
I don't think he's. I don't think he's ready for that with his body shape.
No, that's.
Oh yes,
that's the space. He's got to get it right.
Yeah,
he's got to get it between these two players.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but he
Because if you see where he's
move-
standing, there's a clear line. There's a clear bass lane between those two. I call them center backs.
Yeah.
Exactly in front of the number 3, who's standing sideways. There's a clear line. You see where the forward is also running. If you push that ball right in front of the forward, that center back is going to attempt to step up and he's going to get caught.
Yeah.
It's right through and go.
He wants to be hit in that space there,
Yeah.
right? Instead, I think he's trying to hit that space or knock it over the top. All right, it's late in the game. It happens, but you want to take more care with your passes. Now, the first problem I see in this clip here are these two, right? As a centre-back, you always want to be taking players out of the game. You can do that by kicking them and all the fun ways, but unfortunately, the best way is here. You've got to get up. If these two get up here, there is no problem for the rest of the goal. The first fault is that they're not getting out quickly enough.
True, but also before you go on, the instructions is that the right and left back tuck in, like calling it like the trench rule, for example. If there's transition, if you're going forward, because I want us to play very, very narrow, I want the right and the left back tucking in. So if you want to point the player in the middle of the pitch, in the middle of the pitch. No. That's it. Yes. So I need Tabriz to be shifting, say, a couple of yards. His movement should be going into the midfield, same as Sean. So that
So
if
you
it
want
breaks down,
to come here.
No.
to his right hand side.
To my right hand side.
Here.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. That's the instruction. Because once it breaks down, anytime it breaks down, they can clean it up. Because if you see, play the clip and let me tell you something before you so if once the ball goes, you see that the guy that you pointed to, he moves forward past his man.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is to support the play, which is absolutely fine. You can see that the left winger also trying to make that run. So the next 3 forward people from the opposition are going to be in the middle. They're not going to be very wide. So
right. Okay. Right. What you're talking about, right, is you want these 5 players to be your defensive structure that is going to protect you against transitions if the ball gets turned over. Okay.
100%.
And you want these players, these other 5 players, to be the attacking unit. First off, these positions here are okay. They're not perfect, but we're talking like maybe a couple of yards inside, because this guy's job is to cover the wide areas if the ball gets turned over. Same for this guy over here. The problem is these two are not forward enough. That's the first error, because this guy is running, so that means you've got to come up to cover that space. So that guy has to come up, that guy has to come up. And these defenders, like, they know what they should be doing. And look at the body shape, disinterested. They've got to know that they have to come up. They should be looking to get this guy offside, right? That's the first thing. As the play continues, right? This what's going on here?
I have no fucking clue. Oh, excuse my French.
Yeah. Right. Poorly positioned. They should be in front of this guy here. Everyone should be a couple of lines more forward. Okay. But still very salvageable from this situation. But this is the next problem that happens. That is a wild challenge. It's the position of the landlord that causes the most problems in this attack, because his mate has had to vacate the central area to come close to him. This guy should be coming in. Here, you should be dropping back to at least try and make a front three. But as an example of getting worried about the man instead of space, the landlord has come too far out. This space here is the least dangerous space. Give them that, right? You should be dropping and protecting the center of the pitch here. As it continues, look at the landlord's position. Here's your centre back, and he's there. This guy has come with him because he wants to be next to the centre back. He should be here. Landlord should be here. But both of them should have played these two offside. And unfortunately, you got a man in between the lines. But assuming that this guy is taking his position from the landlord out here, you've absolutely done yourselves because you're not protecting the centre of the pitch. You're too concerned about men. And because of that, that space opens up. That distance there, that 5 yards, is because of his positioning. In my view. And I think he's probably your best player, to be honest, that guy. But look, just watch him. He's not protecting the centre of the pitch. As the ball goes in, when he drops, right, these guys have to defend the space. You can't go out because you're going to sell yourself. So what you want to be doing, right, as a defender, is get your body in between the ball and the goal. Instead, you're too concerned with the man out here. And that is what creates the space.
So I agree with everything that you've said. If you want to click on 5 seconds before, just only 5 seconds, right, and stop it. Yeah, so that's fine.
Okay.
So the reason why the instructions has always been to play narrow is, as the ball is coming back, maybe go forward just a little bit. Just go, yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Now stop it. Stop. See, it's almost 3-on-2 now. Now the first center back is preoccupied with the big guy running on the left hand side.
Yeah. And
like you said, the one in the middle then is looking to take his position from the center back because he doesn't want there to be too much space. So he's instead of him worrying on his left hand side, he's actually worried on his right hand side, trying to close down or stay in position for the person with the ball. So he's stuck in two minds. The reason I say that this could have been prevented, not even from the center back, but from the wing backs or the right and left back, is if you play narrow. So go back 5 seconds. Just click on 5 seconds. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more.
Run it.
Right. Yes, and then play.
Okay.
Now, when this ball is hit, right? Yeah. Now stop.
Oh.
You see, as the ball is in the air, look at the reaction on the right and the left back. They're still in the same position, and I think it's like almost 4 or 5 seconds. If they move, as they are coming up the pitch when we are in transition, if they move narrow, that goal doesn't happen. Because if for example, if left back has moved in 5 yards, if he's coming up the pitch and he's moving 5 yards to his right, the center back then thinks that, oh, there's a man there. So he's not too worried about, yes, they can close that channel, that bus. Right now, as you stand here, there's a huge bus lane between the left back and the center back. Look at the body shape. They're all going that way. You see what I'm saying? But number 3 can see the person who's about to get the ball, who's about to make that run. And I think he should do more to close that space down. But it starts from when that transition, when we are going up the pitch as a team. The instruction is don't go wide, go narrow. You see he's coming wide. I want you to go narrow. I want you to go inside. So when you go inside, is 3-on-3 or 4-on-2. You see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, right? But there are bigger problems than his positioning in this situation, because unfortunately you're going to get this in a football match. He's going to be 2 yards the wrong side. It just happens.
But also the person with the ball, the person with the ball now, the center back is in two minds. Should he mark the person making the run on his left hand side or the one with the ball? I think that's what he's thinking now.
Space.
But I agreed. Exactly. They should mark the space and shift to their left a little bit. So that, and again, the instruction from the beginning, the ball goes wide. Because like you said, if they are shifted, both of them are further up the pitch and are shifting to their left-hand side, they cover the space so that the ball doesn't go through the channel right into the box. It actually goes further wide. Either they find the striker on the left-hand side, which again will go wide, if they get my drift. Or even if they come to pass it to the right, again, it's going to go further to the edge of the box, the right-hand side. And he has a lot more to do to score, other than right through the middle and then have a shot.
Okay,
I wish I was coming behind the goal, because you would have seen what I mean, because I could see. And when they were going out, when the transition was going to happen, you could hear me screaming, for example, to Brice's name.
Like took
it's the first time anyone screamed to Brice's name.
So literally, this is literally where myself and Nana will respectfully disagree. So of course, I'm like number 3. I'm kind of playing left. So exactly where you froze it now, Nana screams for me to tuck in.
No, before.
And I've said to Nana, I said, look, we've actually replayed this a couple of times. And, exactly what you said, bath time. Like, sometimes you're going to be out of position. It's all about just trying to prevent, or literally the next person to try and prevent the shot.
Yeah, that's why you have teammates.
So can literally my kind of conversation with like Nana was, rather than screaming my name that I'm playing left back, you should be screaming to Dan to shuffle over to his left, because that's literally where the danger. Yes, because literally at this present moment, I'm literally out of position or out of play. There's literally nothing I can do at this present moment in time. Nana can see everything in goal. So literally my conversation with Nana was like, rather than screaming my name, if you scream Dan's name, Dan will hopefully be a lot more alert to that run, rather than to scream my name when literally I'm not Superman for me to get back into my preferred position.
But do you agree, or Toby, do you agree that if the centre backs see this picture right now?
Yeah, but boys, you've had this argument, all right? You're just going to go over the same things. I'm going to tell you now what I think should happen from here. I don't care where Tabrice is, if he's been positioned before play. Now we're footballers and we have to deal with the situation that we have in front of us.
Correct.
The first thing that you do when you're outnumbered, because these 3 players are out of the game, they're behind the ball. So our 2 centre backs should be relying on a very, very basic principle, which is that they cannot commit themselves. They can't go and pressure that ball, because, if either of them go to pressure the ball, they're giving up space. As this guy advances with the ball, he's eaten up his own space. So these 2, what they have to do is they have to get their body in between the ball and the goal and drop. Their main job here is to hold up the attack as long as possible for their 3 friends to recover. Okay, so when you talk about initial positionings and stuff like that, that's all fine, but these fine margins are never as important as sticking to the basics. This guy's out of position. This guy isn't dropping. Both of them have to concede the ground and get into that area there. And then if the ball goes wide, it goes wide. And that allows us time to recover. All they should be doing is giving up space and defending the centre here, and then it gives the teammates around them the opportunity to recover. Like the big problem with this goal is the fact that these two didn't push up to get people onside, and the landlord has got dragged out of position because he's scared of this guy. If he should be like 5 yards over here. This guy should be 5 yards over here. They get their body shapes to commit this guy onto his left-hand side because we just assume that he's going to be right-footed, and that will give everyone the time to recover. So it's more about like it's a series of errors, and don't forget the part this guy plays because you should have scored a goal. But it's more a series of errors, and it shouldn't be about blaming or saying like individual people have made individual mistakes, because you're part of a team and the team has to cover for individual mistakes. And the basic defending principles have been thrown out of the window here.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with that. It's not to point out, look, you don't expect that pass to the guy to give the ball away on that transition you've got, and then suddenly within seconds you're on the back foot, unfortunately. And we can break it down and go through it in detail. But once you're in that position where the guy is running at you, you have to protect the space. And because you're slightly out of position, the main centre back in that position there made a great tackle there, block. He should be facing his body, not sideways on, running to getting ready to sort of run into that space.
Come on, they look at him. He drops. Get forward.
Right. Yeah. That pass, yeah. And no one's, when you're saying arguing to Brees and saying, you know, going through this on the group chat, whatever, people need to take responsibility all over the pitch. So that pass, say, all right, we're not disrespecting anyone, but you got to try and do better there. That's a great opportunity. And the comment said earlier that you had so many opportunities to win the game. But that's another thing where it's breaking down there. You're putting more and more pressure on the defense at this stage in the game where they're getting tired, and then you can have lapses and you're not be able the legs to be able to get back and cover certain positions, which you did cover.
Yeah,
well,
but that's 100% agreed, because you know, he himself in the group put his hands up and said, yes, he should have put a few of the goals in there. And like I said in the group, it was a comedy of errors for this goal to happen, because it wasn't only one person. I think people should have been busting the gut. If you look at the midfielder actually making that run, he almost gets there. But look at everybody else around him.
I have to say, this is really weird. This is really weird from your man here, like the way he chooses to defend that situation, because he runs as the ball gets played through here. Do you see that he's not trying to close the angle? And also, shout out to the goalkeeper. What a wonderful position the goalkeeper is in here.
It's tactics. It's tactics. He's trying to force him to my right-hand side.
Oh, it worked really well, didn't it? You should save this, in my opinion.
Thank you.
What?
Thank you. He should save this. 100%.
Low and hard?
Thank you.
I think it's a really good finish. And to be honest, if it goes
inside netting, you know,
off the post, you can't really complain.
Thank you.
But I do think that you can. I do think that as a goalkeeper, like I'd be asking questions. But 100%. I just want to go back here.
I'm not a goalkeeper, though, by the way.
Personally, I think that this as a rest defense, like to protect against transitions, I think that this is perfectly fine here. It's more about these two not pushing up. I know you're annoyed about the fact that you don't want them there, but you can't occupy two zones with the same player, and that distance is perfectly fine.
Right. So if you look on the far side, the right back
side,
the weak side, you see that the player is on his outside.
That's fine. Yeah.
So that is perfect. That's how I wanted it.
Yeah.
And if you look on the left-hand side, there's nobody on his left-hand side. So I need him to tuck in. And I'm saying that this is the instruction that we're given for the game. If you watch a lot of games that we played...
Hang on. Right, I'm confused about something. Okay. First of all, I believe that we defend and occupy spaces. We don't really worry about where attackers are. We're more concerned with our team shape. If, like, so this here is absolutely fine to me because he's in a position to be able to get out here. That's where he's standing. He's not.
But there's nobody there.
Look, he's not. Yeah, but it's the space he's defending. He is not
Exactly.
responsible for defending the central areas.
Exactly.
The central
No, I disagree.
areas. The central areas. Well, look.
Thank you.
Hang on. I'll tell you why. Right.
It's not
Thank
about
you,
you to agree.
That's what I've been trying to say to him.
All right. You are playing a 3-2 rest defense. Okay.
2-3.
So the two and the 3. Right. So 3-2 rest defense. In a rest defense, you have 3 players centrally and 2 that defend the wide areas. So Man City play a 2 and a 3, where their centre backs come out to defend the wide areas. With this setup, Tabrice's areas that you have to defend are here. If you are annoyed about the ball being played into central areas, it's these 3 that you should be concentrating on, not these 2, because that is not that, because they are in a position to be able to get out and defend the wide areas, right? If these guys are more tucked in, you've got no protection here, and this guy can't absolutely leg it.
So as much as I agree with you, Batan, what I'm saying is, if you're defending narrow, it's a lot easier and safer because the ball has to go wide. The team has to, it has to find a killer pass right through the middle. Now, what I'm saying in terms of the positioning or the formation is that, or even attacking the spaces, the art of defending is finding out where's the best space that I need to occupy. Now, if, for example, where Tabrice is right now, there's nobody on his left-hand side, I don't want him there. That's just me. I want them narrow, only because this man on the winger who is meant to be on the right-hand side, he's nowhere to be seen over here. If he is on the exactly. If he's here, if he's from the center line right there, where Tabrice is right now, it's perfectly okay for me, because if he's there, then obviously you have to keep an eye on him. He has to look over his left shoulder. However, there's nobody there, so either you are tucking in and protecting the middle so that you can keep people pinned, the opposition pinned in. That is what I'm saying.
Okay,
because there's nobody on the left side.
No, it's okay. I understand your point. I'm going to tell you why I think you're wrong. Because what you're doing is you're asking your team, right? So this is your defensive unit, okay? You're asking your team and this defensive unit to respond to a situation, but you've set them up in a zonal formation, okay? Where they're not responsible for men, they're responsible for their zones. So Tabrice here, all right, but Tabrice here should understand that he's got to make a back 3. Okay.
No. So literally, at this moment, we are playing a back 4. So literally, we've gone to a 4-4-2. So literally, I'm actually playing left back.
Tabrice, do you remember when I told you about our hate formations? Because left backs and right backs and right midfielders always complain. You're a defender, defend the space, right? Okay. You should, as this ball gets played in here, get around here, okay? Get inside and make a back 3, because the landlord is wildly out of position. So you've got to go and help him out. He's been your best.
This is when I screamed his name. This is when this ball.
And also, well, to be honest, you should be screaming at this guy for that outrageous challenge that you put in.
but the thing is this: if you caught him over there, it's a yellow card and the ball stays there. So I'm not too mad. You see what I'm saying? At least he's trying to stop anything from developing over there.
That is outrageous.
I hear that. But it's a game of football. He needs to attempt to try and get that ball.
Yeah, no,
he's not the kind of guy. Yeah, but
to be honest, you should sub him off for this.
No. Looking at this tackle, you would think he's not the kind of guy. None of my players on this pitch are that kind of guy. Guys who would go out to make stupid tackles. There hasn't been a red card all season, and there won't be. They are not the kind. They are generally trying to win the ball. Actually, but I'm saying that if a foul happens over there, the game stops over there, and we regroup. So I'll commend him for actually trying to win that ball back or stop play over there.
That's a
That's
1-2.
This guy
You
misses the
can't-
ball
you
step,
can't
cast
do
him.
this. You can't do that. 2 feet off the ground, no control over your body. Like, he's a grown man. He knows that that is an outrageous challenge that can end a playing career. But to give him his respect, this is outrageous as well, what he does there. That is one of the best bits of skill on the pitch. But
he
Brees,
got to get a return pass there, man. With his body shape, that's a 1-2. He's done a great skill to get out of position, get out of a tight area. He wanted the 2, and the guy didn't set him for the 2 because he could have played that pass for the channel for the runner. I think that was perfectly on time for things to happen.
Are you being shouted at here, Brees?
Yes.
This right, you're correct to be shouted at here. Get in that space. Like, this is the only point you can affect, like, your defense and your thing is like, look at this. I don't know what body shape that is.
Go
Like,
5 seconds back.
Zombie.
Go 5 seconds back and see how long he stays there and his effort to get back.
I know. I saw. So that's all fine.
All right, here.
What are you doing there?
Wait, hold on. So, wait. So she can we speed this up at like the natural speed rather than.
Oh, do you think we're being unfair?
100%.
Right. 1,
go,
2, 3, 4, 5.
Hold on.
See what I'm saying?
No, hold on. So literally
you can do it again. Go back again.
Okay, so literally at that time, Nana is shouting at me rather than the centre backs to shift over left.
Because it's 3-on-2. Look here. Look right here. Look right here. It's 3-on-2 right here.
No, but
and I'm thinking, if Nana, if you are in my position,
Nana,
right?
Whoa.
One sec. Let me put this across. Okay. If you are standing in the goal, you can see the spaces in between my centre backs right now. Because I'm looking this way. Right now, we are looking at an angle. So it's not even clear. Because what I can see is I can see this guy making that run. I can see the person who scores the goal. I know he's going to make that run. And my 2 centre backs, yes, they should be shifting to this side, but they are occupied. Dan is thinking of the person who has the ball. He doesn't know whether he should stick or drop. They both should drop. But as soon as this ball drops here, I'm screaming to Joe Breeze to get back to tuck in.
Yeah.
It's not only Joe Breeze, it's a committee of errors for it to happen.
No, let me say this. First of all, the ball's been flighted to the guy who had time to turn and run it and play the pass in.
Yeah.
With a flighted ball like that, which comes up, he's got too much time. Too much time. While the ball's in the air,
way too much.
Getting on him and stop him from turning out. You got to pin the guy on his back, stop him from turning out, make him play the other way, like he did previously, 10 seconds before that, when he defended well.
Exactly.
And made him play that way. This time he's let him go.
Yeah.
No reason. So you blame it to Brees, but also that centre back who made the initial challenge here when the ball first came in. He should be that touch tight like that again, pinning the guy, saying no, you're not turning here. Go that way. And then he stops. So he should shuffle over now to the next guy. And all right, fair enough. He's got 5 yards in here. But then you move up, as Bartham say, move up, and you'll be close to him. And don't allow the guy to turn. And then, obviously, you should be, as you say, Nana, you should say to Brees, tuck in. But it's not just you; it's a whole unit. Where's the landlord?
It's the entire defense.
But this is what I'm saying to you guys now. All the defenders I've spoken to after this, everybody has understood their positioning and what they did wrong, apart from Brees. He had nothing to do with him.
No, Nana, you got it wrong. The reason why you and I had an argument, because here, stop it right here. Nana, you were shouting my name.
It was not here. It was not here. Here.
Hold on. Okay, so whatever you said, whatever, I am out of position. You have to be telling should be telling Dan, who's the left-sided centre back, to go to his left, because you, as the goalkeeper, you can see potentially where the ball is going to go. For you to be shouting my name, you have not given Dan, you've not given our centre backs any instructions. Which I've said to you, I'm out of the. Literally right now, I'm literally out of the game. And literally, do not forget, it's a big pitch. Don't forget, it's a big pitch. Literally, I'm not five yards away. Like, it's a big pitch. So rather than you saying to Breeze tuck in at this position, you, as the goalkeeper that can see everything, should be telling Dan, our left-sided centre-back, to shuffle left. So then literally he occupies that space. And then, of course, Kawooya have to now think of another plan or another situation, or exactly what Baftam and Yaba said, to slow down play for myself, Alex, and Sean to try and get back into position. That's the only...
I believe...
All right, hang on. Right, enough. Yeah. Right. First of all, Tabrice, in this clip, you are literally scratching your ass watching things develop in front of you. What I want you to do, Tabrice, and I take it back, I want you to talk us through your positioning in this clip. Okay? Don't worry about anyone else. Just watch yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
And tell me what part...
Okay, so literally...
Hang on. I haven't finished. Tell me what you could have done better based on the situation, not on what other people are doing, but what you're doing. Okay?
What, as in, okay, so I could have probably looked around to my left and right to kind of possibly anticipate where the kind of danger could actually be. Do I think I was too far up the pitch? You know what? I don't know. We were chasing the game, and that makes it 2-0. So literally, that makes it 2-0. So literally, that's not the 1-0 goal. That's the 2-0 goal. So
yeah, but this is you're giving me circumstances. I'm just saying, watch yourself. Tell me what you could do better.
No, but you actually think that the pitch is small? Like, if you can have looked at the dimensions.
This is more.
Bro, we are all watching the same video. Answer the bloody question.
Okay, just watch yourself and tell me what you think you could do better. Like, this isn't perfect. Do you think this is perfect defending? What you do?
Can we play the clip again? Play the clip again.
Do you think this is perfect defending?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so right, what I'm asking is, instead of like telling me about how big a pitch is and where everyone else is, all I want to know is what you think you could do better here. Okay?
I probably should have been in line with our centre backs rather than casually walking up the pitch.
Okay. Are you pleased with this defending?
No, absolutely not.
All right. Why are you not pleased with it?
Because we've conceded a goal and we've lost the game.
Yeah, but that's circumstances. Personally, what do you do? What could you do better? What I'm asking you to here is just watch yourself.
For one, don't scratch your ass.
Yeah. All right. Tabrice, in my opinion here, right, you are not the worst defender. The worst defender is that guy there, the landlord. But the thing is that he also makes the first mistake. So everyone else has to cover for him. All right? That's part of being a team. He's helped all of you out. Your mistake is a common mistake that everyone on this pitch is making, is that you're not taking pictures. If you take a picture, you don't concede this goal. Because watch yourself, right? When do you look at what is around you? You don't know where anyone is. Do you see you don't scan?
And Batham, can I give you a bit of context as well in terms of another instruction, which I think may be crucial? So right. the right back, and Tabrice, correct me if I'm wrong. Yes. So his instruction is to play the trend role. The three big boys are...
You're asking a Sunday league footballer to play Trent Alexander role.
No. But hear me out. It's not literally. It's the common sense behind it. I'm not a professional goalkeeper. I've been in goal for 2 years. I'm not a goalkeeper. That's number one. But I've been in goal.
Yeah, I need you to play the Edison role. and save this. Like, right, okay, sorry.
Fair enough. Fair point.
Okay, right.
But the point
Trent
is,
roll.
the instruction I'm giving him is
inverted
to
fullback.
exactly. So where he is actually perfect, and he's goal side. And Fabrice will tell you that this is what I tell them, that once he comes in, you go free at the back. There's no point. I don't like to play Fabrice at the left back because for me, I don't think that's his strength. I think he's very physical with people. He's very good in the air, and he can rock people up. So if I have my three big boys, I'm always playing free at the back. So the instruction is when he pushes in, you guys tuck in and make that free.
All right. Well, why don't you just tell him? Why don't you just tell him? I want you to defend central areas. Just make it a very simple instruction.
He's right there. He's right there. Have I not told him that? Free at the back. I mean, the boys are also watching, so somebody can comment. If I've not told Sean to tuck in, so that from the beginning of this game, for example, another thing which happened was that our centre back, one of the centre backs, Wes, if you watch the first half, light skin, grey beard, he was always going in. Yes, he was always going in with either the big guy or either the big forward tips, or the number 10. So they were having no joy, absolutely no joy. So they were making them play that way. So it was working perfectly. As soon as he went
you're being reductionist here, because I know what you're talking about, but the most important thing for defending, well, there are two very important things. Number one is keeping the pitch narrow. The second is pressure on the ball. The midfield and the strikers were making the old heads guy a lot easier because they were limiting the time and space that they had to play the ball. So he saw everything in front of him and was able to react to it. In Tabrice's situation there, it's not that there's no pressure on the ball, it's that we've given up an easy chance and the ball has gone forward. But all you need to do is tell Tabrice, I want you central. You're complicating instructions, saying like the Trent Alexander role. Just say, when we have the ball, go central. That's central midfield.
I don't know if I'm not explaining myself well, but that instruction has got nothing to do with Tabrice. Tabrice is meant to play central.
Not central enough.
But that's what I've told Tabrice, to play central with 3-5-2.
No, but we're
3-5-2. Hear me out. Once we set up from the beginning of the game was 3-5-2. Even when we changed to the 4-4-2, Sean's job was to come in inverted and you tuck in. And if you, I think there's a time in the video where if you play the actual video, you can hear me telling Tabrice, stay central. And for the person in the middle and the two people on the side, that's all I tell them. So every time, because if they're playing only one up top, what's the business of the three of you being there? One of you needs to push it into the number 10. And then the two of you, one marks the big guy, and then one of you is free. It's that simple. So if you are going out wide when there's nobody on your left-hand side, you're wasting, you see what I'm saying? You're wasting time there. You should be concentrating on your right-hand side. If you look behind you, there's a white line over there. There's nothing behind you. There's no threat over there. So one of the center-backs push onto the guy, the other one push onto the big man, and the third one, which could be Tabrice in this instance, is free. So if he's tucked in, it doesn't happen. But it's not, I'm not saying it's Tabrice alone, that's why they go. I just want you to understand his role in it, because it was a comedy of errors from when that ball was lost, to him putting his hands up, to him staying there, not going back, to somebody making a tackle, somebody not reacting. There were so many things that are happening. But I just wanted him to understand his particular role and what he could have done better to prevent it from happening. The keeper could have saved it as well.
You know what? At this stage of the game, I think that these conversations are really crucial, and it's got to bond the team. It's got to be positive as well, because as I'm a defender myself, and you defend, and then suddenly the ball gets turned over. You're like, oh my god, again they're giving the ball away, and then at the end of it, everyone's having a go at Tabrice. When Tabrice is thinking, why can't the strikers or the attacking players do their business? Why is it all focused on the defenders or the goalkeepers? It's good. So as a whole, the conversation should be a positive one. You guys have done fantastic this year. Started with 6. Now you're one game away from actually getting promotion, which is magnificent. I must admit, watching the first game, you're very compact. You make yourself hard to beat. You've got good, solid defenders, and you've got to utilize them the best way you can. That little transition there with the goal, yeah, we can pick off errors. We could say, there's 3-4 people you could point out to say there's an error there. But the thing is, the conversations have to be had after the game and on the pitch as well. You have to be proactive. Tabrice, yeah, I agree, bro. You should have maybe tucked in a long time before, anticipated it. Because if you would have tucked in, you wouldn't even had to make a run. The only one who made the run was the midfielder who went with the guy who ran between the channel. Yeah. You should have closed the channel as soon as possible, and then it's like, right, I've shut that out, I've done my job, and then they would have had to turn out and play it wide or something like that. But I'm not saying it critically. I'm just saying, look, as a team, the conversations have to be positive, encouraging, and people need to say, yeah, I take accountability for certain things on the pitch. And it shouldn't 100%. Just be Nana, even though Nana's manager, it shouldn't just be him screaming instructions from the back. There should be better communication maybe from the back 4 or back 5 amongst themselves to say, look, you're out of position, tuck in straight away and talk your way through the game. You guys are all experienced, you're all good players. Talk yourselves through the game and stroll through it, because no matter what, the league doesn't lie at the end of the day. But I do feel, even though you lost to them twice, this team, and well done to them for being unbeaten, invincibles and that, if you set up correctly and go take some advice, positive criticism or constructive criticism, take it on. There's ways you can suffocate that team like you did in the first half and continue that going forward and actually get positive results against teams like that. If you were to go up this season, it's kind of fortunate, because if you were to go up this season and take an L but not learn from it, do you understand what I'm saying? You go up to a higher league and it could all fall apart, because you might be losing every week without learning. This is a great opportunity.
That's it.
To stay in the league, to take that L, but use that to learn and have these discussions, which is great. You've got a great platform here, Tabrice. Have these discussions with the boys and everyone else is watching to say, all right, we can pick out pieces that we agree with. Some we might not understand, some we might not accept. But let's have these discussions so we can improve as a side and have that unity and come within the club.
Can I just expand on that, Amondo? You are teammates, right? You lose as a team, you win as a team. People make individual mistakes. All of you have been arguing about this thing in the group chat. I saw your striker miss a header from 3 yards. You don't. The thing is, right, is that Amondo is that this is an opportunity for you all to improve as a team. And it's not the fault of one guy. Like, the landlord's out of position, but he's bailed all of you out all season. So you need to bail him out, right? And when you get it wrong, like, the best way to sort of learn is think about what I could have done better here. And the reason you concede that goal isn't because someone's 3 yards left or someone 3 yards right. It's because you don't respect central space enough. People get pulled out of position, and all of you as defenders, you're a unit. Okay, you're like a family, and if the lawn isn't being mown, it doesn't matter if the mum or the cousin is doing it, it's got to get done. So even if you're left back and you've been told to play wide or central or whatever, go and cover that space and help your teammate, and your teammate will help you out later. So instead of having WhatsApp arguments about, I told you to be here, or you should have done this, or you should have done that, focus on yourself and think, how could I have helped my team? Because you are a team, and you've got to play and win and lose as a team. And it's the best thing. It's the best thing in the world. So instead of all of this, like, who's wrong here? I think that all of you should look at the fact that as a team, you don't attack and defend space as well as you should. Keep the channels closed. Keep the central areas compact. The only goals you should concede are absolute wonder goals, because it's not difficult. So stop blaming each other. You spend more time with each other than anyone else. You're teammates, and it's a special thing. So take it all as constructive. Look at what you did wrong. how you can improve, but look at it in terms of a team, not this guy is wrong or whatever. But you should have run more and not scratched your ass.
Can I say as well, great choice of words from both of you, Yaba and Bad Time. Just to add that in the group, for me, it was positive more than anything.
Yeah.
And it showed that people wanted to be there. People wanted to win the game. That's why we were all putting on the table to see where we went wrong. So it was respectful. It wasn't, any stupid arguments. People put their hands up and said, yes, I should have done this. I should have done that. The few who didn't, we just wanted to delve in deeper so we can understand. Because, like I said from the beginning, if we don't learn from our mistakes, it's going to happen every week.
All right,
it's going to happen every single
I'll give
week.
you.
That's what
My coach in Chile told us this. All right, so I played in like a South American youth league for a couple of years, and we had a good standard of coaching. And it's not something that you get in the UK, like the instructions that we received, but in something called emergency defending, right, which is where numbers are equal or less than the attackers. So I don't know if you remember, but in the first video I said always have a +1 in defense and then get people up the pitch, right? Because that means that if you've got +1, someone can be aggressive. They can go and they can try and make a challenge. If you don't have that, what you need to do is get your body in between the ball and the goal and give up the space until the midfield or the second line can recover. So offer the wide areas. In that situation, the landlord and Tabriz were defending areas they didn't need to defend. Concentrate on the zones that need to be defended and also that need to be attacked, and don't give them away for free. What you did is that you were outside protecting your wheelbarrow and they were inside stealing your TV. Okay, protect the front door. The front door is the D, right? That's you've got to be bouncers, right? Do you ever see a bouncer leaving the door and running around the side? Very rarely. They're stopping people coming into the club. The club is the penalty box. Do it in the D.
Yeah. And that's a great way to say, can't believe you guys are still live at 11.
I told you this would go on for ages.
I know, but you know what? I mean, again, this has been a very educational and kind of constructive, conversation. And again, I just want to repeat, when we started the season, a few weeks before the season started, we had 5-6 players. So, where we are now, is a kind of very, very healthy place. And again, players want to play for Nana. I want to play for Nana. Again, like he's going to put in a lot. So, it's, I always say that, especially at this level, players don't play for the club, they play for the manager. So, so again, getting 16, 17 players come in and, paying their registrations and paying their subs, it's a huge thing. So, but again,
I have to say, at times in that game, and one day will back me up on this, I sent him screenshots from your team, and you were better set up than Manchester United were at various points this season. Like, I'm not joking. Like the midfield, the strikers, all like in that game, the first time you played them, you were too concerned in your high block with like the left back or the right back or whatever. In this game, you absolutely packed the midfield. You gave them no options, and with a bit more clarity and a bit more control of emotions, like you would have won that. You would have won that game. Yeah. 4 or 5 goals. You'd have been 3-0 up for 25 minutes, and that is the best team in the league that you've played. So, like, stick together and work on ways to help each other improve, and don't worry so much about blame. Worry about space.
Nana, if like anyone's out there that wants to join Catford Wanderers, how can they contact you?
You can contact the amateur footballer on all his platforms, and you reach out to me, or the Catford Wanderers is official _ Catford Wanderers FC on Instagram. You can drop me a message over there as well, and I can I'll definitely get back to you, because we're definitely looking for a goalkeeper and a centre back.
Someone to defend central areas.
Exactly. But I just want to use this opportunity quickly to say that I mean, it's nice to hear that people want to play for me, but I think we've all built something from nothing to where we are now. So it's a family. It's a family, and we want to continue to build and fight for each other on and off the pitch. It's more than just football, you know. So if, like I say, if you're getting 15, 16, 17 people coming to play on a Saturday, it's a big deal, and it's testament to all the work that all the players have put forth. I am, like I said to them on Saturday, we win, we lose, we draw together. I am so proud of them, because so far as I'm concerned, we have overachieved. The goal was to go to Division 1, but if you knew the players and what we started with then and where we are now, we are in a much better place, and we have people on the sidelines who actually want to join. So it means that we are doing something well. So I'm so proud of all you lot. Rest up. It's a barbecue in a few weeks, and we go again.
And
I also want to say I don't like FC Kawooya or whatever they're called.
Kawooya.
Yeah, you're a senior team and you've got your nicknames on the back of your shirt. Grow up.
No, so it's a name of someone who died, Derek Kawooya.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So,
I apologize.
I
apologize so much.
They do it for Derek Kawooya. That was his name. So yeah, they've been doing it for a while.
I'm
They
so
have a Sunday
sorry
team
to
as well,
Derek and his family and the players. I apologize profusely. I was trying to
It's
make
fine.
a silly
We've
joke
cleared
and I've done it wrong.
We've cleared it up. So,
But it shows why it shows that they've honoured his legacy, because now someone who didn't know him knows about him, and I do apologise. I'm sorry for anyone watching.
Do you want to pick them up as well? I mean, to go the whole season unbeaten, that takes a lot. And the goal they scored is exactly what we were talking about, the running into the channel, picking up those two players in between the lines. You know, it just shows how simple the game can be. We don't have to you can go into detail like that with blinkers, but when you really look at the game, you've got a great opportunity with the club. Nana, top coach, you've got great experienced players like Fabrice and good players throughout the whole side. When you've got the great opportunity here with the video camera as well to really sort of analyze games. For years, I played football, and I'd go and sit in the bath and think about the game and have memories of moments, what I did, and that's how I'd analyze the game. But when you see it from an overview, from a great camera like that, you guys have got it all made. You've got a great clubhouse, you've got great social life as well. When you have your barbecue and your award ceremony and everything else, keep it together. It's a great opportunity. Without football, my social life would be really poor, and you guys are doing really fantastic. I will, as you know, I follow you already, Nana, and I follow Catford on Instagram. Anyone who's watching who's not a part of the Vets Football, please follow Amateur Football, Vets Football. Follow Nana, follow Catford Wanderers. What Wanderers? Catford FC.
Yes, Wanderers.
Yeah, and let's support them. Let's get behind them for next season and see how they get on. Hopefully get promotion.
And Yaba and Bath Time, where can people find you guys?
Please don't look for me or try to contact me. I just want to play like Elden Ring and watch Love Island over the summer.
You know, you can contact us at the Man United Agenda. We've got a YouTube channel, and it's a great community we have here. That's how we met Fabrice and the boys then. And shout out to all you guys doing podcasts. And I just want to say big up to Katie Rovers, that girl. If you just put her up on the comments there, this is a great opportunity for Katie as well to sort of set up her own channel. You can find her on TikTok doing wonderful things, talking football. She's a Blackburn Rovers fan, and hopefully she'll be pushing her channel and her sort of social media, talking football. Go and check her out as well. A good friend of Fabrice. and mine as well. So big up.
And shout out Dean as well. He's one of your players, right?
Yes,
Dean Morrison.
Dean, yes.
What number?
Right back.
Right back. So literally, he's the person that you got me confused in the first game.
Yeah. So I must apologise, Dean. I think I wanted to make fun of Tabrice, but you made that quite difficult for me because you played you played really, really well in that game. I hope you took the stuff that I said as constructive. I thought you played pretty well. It's just once again, it's just about spaces and stuff like that. Like you got spun by Braggs in that game.
Wait. You're confusing the two. There's Dean who didn't play that game, and there's Dan Walker.
No. I think Bathtime's talking about Dean.
Yes, Dean didn't play that game.
Yeah, this is a different thing.
Yes, but he's a right back for Catford Wanderers.
Yeah, so in the first game Tabrice sent me, I was told that he was the right back, and it was Dean that I thought was Tabrice. So I gave Dean a harder time than anyone else because I thought it was Tabrice. But like I didn't upset you, Dean, because I don't know you and things like that, and no man should disrespect another man that they don't know. So my apologies if you did feel disrespected.
Honestly, guys, thank you so much for bringing down our game, and again, congratulations to FC Kawooya who have been promoted to Division 1. And yeah, we as Catford go again next season under the leadership of like Nana. And again, thank you to the Bath Time, thank you to Yaba, thank you to like Nana. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you sometime next week.